1 Corinthians 14:12. Even so you, since you are zealous for spiritual gifts, let it be for the edification of the church that you seek to excel. The greatest gift I ever received was my grandfather's violin when I was 11 years old. It wasn't a genuine Jacobus Steiner, but it probably dates back to the late 18 to early 1900s. I remember the great desire I had to learn to play that violin. I remember the great excitement I had in wrapping this violin at Christmas. That summer I began violin lessons, and as is common with many young people, I didn't stick with it. It wasn't until I reached my 30s that I actually learned to play it, and by that time there were so many other distractions, the practice needed to master playing the violin were just not available. Over the years, this violin has traveled halfway around the world. I've played it at church twice, once in the United States and once in Thailand. I was so nervous in my skills, the bow spent more time bouncing over the strings making sounds like cats fighting in the alley than glorious hymns of praise to God. Now I still have my grandfather's violin. The strings need to be retuned and the bow needs to be rehaired, but the desire to make beautiful music to the glory of God is still there. With awe, I listen to true violinists like Jamie George as they bring forth melodies which awe people with the wonder of God through music. But this should remind us, there are great gifts, spiritual ones, which God wants to bestow on His church. These gifts aren't for our own edification and self-glory, but rather for the edification and building up of His church. Father, please let me be zealous for spiritual gifts through which you can use in building up your church.